In the eternal city of Rome, where ancient buildings meet modern-day spectacle, it's easy to get lost in a sea of tourists, each one chasing the same snapshots, the same spoon-fed experiences. This city, a glorious mix of history, art, and culture, has become, for better or worse, the epitome of a tourist trap.
But what if we told you there's another Rome? One where you don't walk away feeling as if you were both financially and emotionally drained. Now, Rome may not have been built in one day, but we're going to see it in one. Today, we're challenging ourselves to see the eternal city in one day, with under 50 euros per person.
We'll navigate the mandatory tourist sites, but also veer off the beaten path, to places where Rome reveals itself only to those who look beyond the facade. Along the way, we'll indulge in authentic Roman cuisine that doesn't break the bank, uncover shortcuts that bypass the long lines, and find serene spots amidst the chaos to pause and soak in the city's timeless beauty.
Welcome to Rome!
Well, me and more, we've been traveling around for a few weeks and our budget is running low.
That's right. Also, when we arrived to Rome, we start comparing the prices between Rome and Sicily, and oh my god.
I'm a little bit shell-shocked. So today's plan is to stick within a budget, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be having any fun. So we started off our morning bright and early, which we would recommend you do the same.
So you can beat the crowds, and also if it's summer, you can beat the heat.
So we started off our morning at the most important place to see first on our trip, the Trevi Fountain. We thought we were really doing something when we woke up at 5:30 a.m. to come over here, but
the truth is, there's a lot of people to be 6:30.
Yes. I mean, check this out, guys. It's, not as packed as it could be during high hours, but
that's right.
Definitely not to ourselves.
It's so funny to see people with big dresses or like fancy shirts only to take a picture over here. Probably they woke up at 4 in the morning, but it's alright. And probably we're maybe on the budget, but we still gonna throw a coin over there, yes, so we can return one day to the eternal city.
Yes. Here we go?
Yep.
First euro of the day to the fountain.
There we were, tossing coins into the Trevi Fountain, making bets with the universe about coming back to Rome. You've gotta love a city where throwing money into water is considered a sound investment for future travel plans. 2 euros, well spent, I guess. Let's get this touristy stuff out of the way though, because next up, the Coliseum. Picture this, a sea of tourists, each performing an elaborate dance of duck faces and selfie sticks, and whatever it takes to get the shot.
It's too bad they don't know the spot that we're gonna show you guys.
It's actually in the back of the Coliseum, so there's less people. And if you're trying to find it on the map, there's a restaurant called La Biga. It's right in front of there. There's this nice little place you could sit, get some great unobstructed views of the Coliseum, some great photos. And at this time of day, the light is gorgeous.
Pictures? Check. Follow us on Instagram to see how they turned out. But in the meantime, there's a few other things to see around here.
This is the Arch of Constantine. They make this arch to celebrate a big victory in a battle, like the one that is in Paris. This one also here also commemorates a big battle. And these beautiful buildings, sometimes they get overshadowed by the big Coliseum, you know? And talking about the Coliseum, if you want to visit and get inside, you have to get your tickets online. They don't sell it over here. And watch out for those cameras. There's a couple of people dressed up as gladiators that they want to take a picture with you, and then they want to charge you big money. So be aware of that. We try to save money, so the last thing we want to do is just being scammed.
Take a look at this guy in the back with the scooter. He's actually on to something, because we've learned that there's tons of these Lime scooters around the whole city. If you're able to use your phone while you're here, it's totally worth it to rent one of these Lime scooters to get around. And pro tip, don't just do it by minute because it gets very, very expensive. They actually have day passes. You can do a 60-minute pass, 90-minute pass, and you can spread it out throughout the day how many minutes you use. And that's a super great way to save money, but you know what's even better? You know what's even cheaper than a scooter? Walking. So bring some walking shoes like Martina and I, because yeah, we're trying to stick to our budget, so every dollar counts.
Whenever you're going to eat or you're going to drink coffee or drink something else, make sure you're at least 2 blocks away from the famous buildings. Why? Because otherwise they're going to charge you a lot, and probably the food or drinks are not going to be as good. So right now we check, there's nothing around us, so we're going to have coffee over here. I see there's locals here, it's fast, it's nice, it's our place.
Alright, let's break down the anatomy of a genuine Italian coffee shop. Dark wood like this is a good sign, and even better if you see people in and out in a matter of minutes. If a menu isn't present, you know you've found a good spot.
Oh, and if there are chairs, it's probably a tourist trap. True Italians take their coffee standing up.
Grazie.
canolo piccolo. That's him. If you order a coffee over here, they're gonna give you this, which I love. Perfect temperature, you just drink it and go.
And I feel slightly at home here because this place is a Sicilian style cafe. Locals are coming in and out super fast. The faster, the better here in Italy. I thought I was queen of fast food in the US. No, they know how to do fast coffee here. Anyway, also got a cannoli to hit the road. Looks delicious. Thing about pastry shops, coffee shops in Rome and throughout Italy is it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You see these people lining up down the block, you know, to have some sort of fancy pastry. No, you can get something just as good, cheap here at Cafe di Noto.
8 euros so far. Well, 10 if we count the 2 euros that we put it into the fountain. So 10 euros so far. The reason why everybody comes over here, and the reason why you should come over here if you come to Rome, is because this is the best preserved building of the ancient Rome. It's beautiful. La cupola, how do you say that, Juliana?
The dome.
The dome is magnificent, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building. We bought the tickets online, that we avoid big lines, and it's only 5 euros each. So right now we spent 20 euros for all our day so far.
The Pantheon has a legacy as immense as its dome. Built in 126 AD, this ancient temple-turned-church is a testament to Rome's architectural ingenuity and is the final resting place of legacies such as the renowned artist Raphael and 2 Italian kings. And what they don't tell you when you purchase those admission tickets is that you're also snagging front row seats to the greatest show not listed on the ticket. People watching. It's like a crash course in human behavior, only way more entertaining. And sure, we're part of the circus too, making this video for you, but don't worry, we draw the line at sprawling out on the ground.
Somebody needed to say it.
Now that we've crossed most of the crowded spots off our list today, what do you say we head to a spot that has much less crowds?
This is the monument of Vittorio Emanuele II, that was the first king of Italy as a unified country. This is a very nice monument. You can see right now it's under construction, but you can still climb it. And best of all, it's free to watch. Some Romans, they call it the typewriter, because if you see it all, it looks like one.
Wow, the view up here is totally worth all those steps. And our next spot, we're gonna escape the crowds a bit, which I'm excited about. Just me, Martine, you guys, the camera. We're gonna go have a little picnic. Our goal is to find some sort of really good deli with meats, cheeses, or some sort of takeaway option. Have ourselves a picnic in this beautiful place we found. So we'll meet you guys over there. One thing I love about this city is that you'll be walking around on your way from site to site and you'll get distracted by other buildings that are so beautiful, and also tons of fountains everywhere, which by the way, if they look like this, you can drink out of them. You can bring your water bottle with you, fill it up for free. I've also seen people sticking their heads under the faucet to drink, but no. We're gonna do it like the Romans do. I'm gonna show you a little trick that I'm not seeing many people know about. Amongst all the alleyways of Rome is this place, the Spanish Steps. Here, art, history, and cosmopolitan energy converge into what is quite literally steeped in centuries of stories. Now, they are free to enter, there's tons of tourists here, and there's something to be mindful of to make sure that you don't lose a ton of money while you're here. Not many people realize you will be fined for eating, drinking, and sitting on the steps, We're gonna probably see a few people getting fined right now because a lot of people don't realize this. You might be walking with a drink in your hand, sipping it, and a police officer will come and fine you a big fine. So avoid that at all costs. Put away your drinks, walk the Spanish Steps, and let's do it for free without having to spend a dime, or a euro in this case.
The Spanish Steps, a grand staircase of 135 steps, has a history that stretches back to the 18th century. Funded by a French diplomat, they were built to link the Bourbon Spanish embassy to the Trinidad de Monte church above, symbolizing a peaceful connection between France and Spain. While here we realize there were a few other unofficial rules no one told us about.
No sleeping, no fast food.
No apple cores,
Yeah, no.
no astronauts,
Yeah.
no diving boards, no hairspray.
Oh yeah, I encourage that. Don't speed while you're talking.
Don't divide men and women, treat them equally.
But back to the main task right now, having a picnic. We are walking away from the crowds and just our luck. We see a shop selling meat and cheese with no English menu inside. This is our spot, Il Salumayo.
Here we found a sandwich place. And they're gonna make it right now for us. So Juliana ordered one that is Italiano, that it says prosciutto, mozzarella di bufala, tomato and basil. And for me, I ordered Norma, that it has also prosciutto, eggplant, ricotta, and basil. Sounds good. We're gonna take it to go. Grazie.
Grazie, ciao. 14 euros in a place that is totally unpretentious and the menu is in Italian, like it should be.
Across the street we saw this other deli, where they have tiny bottles of wine, a perfect addition to our picnic.
And 9 euros for a bottle of wine, a small one, and they open it for us.
Grazie.
Buona giornata.
43 euros so far, right?
43 euros so far. Well spent. In a city as crowded and as big as Rome, sometimes it's difficult to avoid the crowds. That's why Villa Borghese, it's like a sanctuary, like an oasis, in the middle of the city. It's a nice park, huge, that allows you to be away from all the people, relax, and enjoy the nature. And if you have enough wine, maybe you're gonna forget that you're in a crowded city.
Geese hanging out, couples making out, kids having gelato. This park is just such a vibe. What do you say we dig into our sandwiches?
I cannot wait.
Cheers. We're in freaking Rome. Well, that sandwich was a million times better than we expected it would be. It's seriously delicious, and we're probably gonna go back tomorrow off camera. But what do you say we go back to exploring some more free spots to see around Rome? Let's go! Well, another free spot for us to see.
Yes, this is La Piazza del Popolo. It's very, very famous and unique. It has 2 fountains on each side, and then the big obelisk that is from Egypt.
So cool. And you told me there's some reason that we're here, some sort of movie reference?
If you've seen the movie Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks, you will know this piazza.
That is so you, Martine, referencing that movie. Meanwhile, off screen, I have been referencing the Lizzie McGuire movie nonstop.
She make me watch it.
As late afternoon approaches, we decide to take a visit to the other side of the River Tiber, to Trastevere, and it certainly feels different from the Rome we saw this morning.
I mean, this is all that you're looking for when you're coming to Rome, right? It's all that all of us are searching for. Little alleyways, cobblestone, ivy growing so high, restaurants setting up with little twinkle lights. And at this time of day, it's perfect to just walk around and see what there is. I like this neighborhood a lot more than some of the other areas we were today. It's super cute, so let's see what else we can find.
And you can't do Rome without having some gelato, right? But that's one expense we'd gladly splurge on to make sure we got the real deal.
Fata Morgana. Incredible gelato is served here. We got 2 for €6, which brings us, I believe if I'm correct, to a grand total of 49 euros.
That is correct.
Okay, and here's what you need to look for when you're looking for gelato, okay? Number 1 rule, when they serve pistachio, it doesn't matter if you're gonna order pistachio or not, if it is a vibrant, bright green, unnatural color, it is not a good place. The pistachio color should be almost like an earthy, brownish green, like a natural color of pistachio, and their vanilla should also have a slight yellow color to it. This place has come highly recommended, and what I loved is that they actually had some very unique flavors, and they're all very, very small batches, so the stuff here is very fresh. I went for lemon curd, plus I went way off of what I normally do. It's basil, walnut, I want to say ricotta. I can't remember what the third ingredient was, but let me tell you, I had a little lick of the lemon curd. By far my favorite ice cream, or gelato, I've ever tried. It is a true lemon curd flavor. It's not like just lemon, it is lemon curd. It's got that creaminess.
I ordered tuna. If you don't know tuna, it's what it grows in the cactus.
Not the fish.
Not the fish. Tuna, and I also ordered papaya. It was delicious, delicious. Over here, it feels a little bit more like local life in this neighborhood. You can see a lot of kids playing in the park. I love using their Roma shirts. I love it. It's like the real life of Rome.
As we were finishing our gelato, 2 local kids fresh out of school came up to us shyly, asking if we were YouTubers. It's a weird thing, this YouTube gig. You're in this bubble, always chasing more views, more subscribers. With our 75,000 subscribers, we often feel like just a drop in the bucket. But when these kids looked us up and saw our subscriber count, their eyes lit up in a way that made us pause.
Can I follow?
Yeah,
of course.
We're gonna follow you.
Tourist to local.
Hey.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Currently having our Lizzie McGuire moment. We're gonna become famous in Rome. Take over the city. We met these boys from the city. They came up and said hello. They're so, so sweet. What are your names?
Me, Julio,
Julia?
Arturo.
Julio and Arturo. Juliana and Martine. Very nice to meet you.
Echo. Yeah.
To them, we weren't just small fish. We were, I guess, kind of a big deal. It was a real heartwarming moment to know that some kids in Italy think we're celebrities or something. I don't know. It was just nice.
The next place we're gonna show, it pays tribute to one of our personal heroes. That's Anthony Bourdain. Tony loved Negronis and used to love to come over here to this place in Rome to drink his Negronis. So let's figure out this place.
Freni e Frizioni. This isn't just any bar. It's where I got one of the best Negroni I've ever sipped on. Yeah, I said it.
This one is for you, Tony.
But what really confused me was the buffet spread that magically appears with your beverage. It's like they know you're spending all your years on ancient ruins and need a break. Here, your drink buys you more than just a buzz. It buys your dinner.
But even though the food here is included, we skip it because we have dinner plans at La Famiglia tonight. This restaurant was right by our hotel. We came here night 1 off camera and returned for a total of 5 times during this trip. The carbonara here is life-changing, and we'll probably regret telling you about this place when we come back in the future and see a line. And the grand total here for a water, a wine, 2 plates of spaghetti, and a couple new friends from Canada, a little more than 28 euros.
Yep. I used to do tap dance.
Me too. And my daughter, yeah, I did it for like 10 years.
Me too. That carbonara was life-changing.
And that cacio e pepe, my God.
Now, funny enough, you guys wouldn't know this, but we actually were planning to talk to a lot more during that dinner, but we ended up meeting just the coolest couple.
This nice couple from Canada, and we were just talking all night long.
Seriously. Okay, so grand total, Martine, what are we at?
Okay, the grand total for both of us, it's 87.56.
So divide that by 2?
43.78.
I'd say that's pretty good for 2 tourists in Rome who just are trying to have a good time and not be too cheap.
For an entire day, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And I guess this concludes our journeys around Italy, right?
That's right. I'm very sad, but I'm very happy with all the whole experiences that I have over here.
Seriously, every person we've met happened to have found this channel after meeting us. Thank you so much for just being a part of our journey and making this trip so magical.
And if you haven't seen the series that we did in Sicily, I will strongly recommend you to check it out.
Seriously, because if you are thinking of going to Rome, I would highly encourage you to maybe just pop over to Sicily because I loved it. All right, we left this video over here for you guys to watch next. So long.
Travel well.
Make the world your neighborhood. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.